Back in the zone, we're talking Ozempic and the other weight loss drugs like it. They're very quickly have become a bit of a cultural phenomenon, and they're a source of hope to a lot of people with obesity or really other health conditions. But there are some side effects raising concerns.
Okay.
Caitlin Owens with Axios is live with us now to talk about that. And Caitlin, really, this has taken the country by storm. Actually, I could say the world, because I've heard of people in other countries also trying to get Ozempic. What is the attraction, and what are some of the pitfalls, if you will?
So this class of drugs that Ozempic belongs to, it's been on the market for a while. It's just that they're approved to treat diabetes. But new research is showing that they can be highly effective for weight loss. You know, there's clinical trials undergoing to see if they can be used to treat obesity. A couple of them are approved as weight loss drugs, but Ozempic notably, which is the one everyone talks about, is not. That is still being studied. So, you know, they have given a lot of people hope. Obesity is tied to a lot of illnesses in this country. But at the same time, there are some red flags coming up about the side effects that they could cause. You know, one being suicidal ideation. European health regulators are studying that. But then another big one that has been flagged is the effect that they could have on older Americans, where muscle loss is a big concern.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
So in your estimation, people who are using Ozempic for weight loss should wait until it's certified for weight loss as opposed to just to treat diabetes?
Well, I am not a doctor, so I guess my advice would be to talk to their doctor.
Okay.
Because some people are taking it off-label at the instruction of their doctor.
Oh.
And though, you know, that's a very common thing to happen. You know, I think the problem is if and when people are taking it without a doctor's consultation, as just as a weight loss drug, you know, without kind of thinking through the pro, cons, and the risk-benefit analysis. That is the riskier behavior. And also, you know, that's the one that's caused, I think that is impacting the cost calculation here, where, you know, paying for a drug for obesity treatment is one thing, paying for a weight loss drug for people who are not obese, that's different.
So, Caitlin, just real quick, I know Ozempic is not the only one. They have other drugs there. There are actually there for weight loss. Wegovy is one of them that I can recall offhand. But there are other drugs that do the same thing as Ozempic, but these are approved for weight loss. So that's more likely things that doctors are steering their patients to, correct?
Right. You know, Wegovy is a big one, and then Novo has another drug that doesn't work quite as well. But that is specifically approved for weight loss. Ozempic, another one is Eli Lilly's Mounjaro. They're being studied. And, you know, we expect to see they will apply for approval as weight loss drugs, but they have not received that approval yet.
You mentioned that people are taking this without a doctor's advisement. Where are they getting that from? Because I thought you had to have a prescription. Is it is it hot? Are they buying it at the barbershop?
You know, you'd have to ask them. You know, and I think maybe, I don't know, like, I don't want to throw any doctors under the bus here. You know, maybe some people can get a prescription for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think that it's, as you know, it's a cultural thing. You know, there's all these celebrities that are talking about taking Ozempic. Not all of them are obese to begin with.
Yeah, well, we are seeing that. Caitlin Owens with Axios, thank you. It's a discussion a lot of people are having, and yes, a lot of people, Joe, are getting them. Yeah, it's like a black market. I'm just saying, I've heard, I'm just passing down the information. Don't do it without a doctor's permission. All right, DMV Zone coming back. We are talking about so much more yet to come here on the show. So Kevin McCarthy not here, but of course he leaves us with movie tidbits. We'll share some of that with you after the break.
I need to find out where they're getting this black market Ozempic from, and why these cows are still in Bowie. I'm getting